Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Cancer in mid-February 2021. What is going on, Cancers? How are you guys doing? I hope you are doing well. All right, friends, welcome to mid-February. Wherever you are in the world right now, Cancer, I hope you're safe, happy, healthy, and secure. Continue to take very good care of yourselves and those that you know and love, and maybe even extend that a little bit out to other people that you don't know. You know, put that good juju out in the world whenever you can, wherever you can, as comfortable as you are to do so. No announcements for mid-February, so let's just go ahead and get into it, guys. Anything you want from me, Cancer, it is in the description box. Timestamp is down there. Information on how to get a personal reading with me is also down there. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, which I will, get back into the habit of using, there's a link for that down below as well, okay? All right, guys, let's do this thing. Let's get you a story. Let's get you something to look at, something to think about, something to ponder. Maybe, I don't know. But let's see what's going on for you guys. Cancer in mid-February 2021. Messages for Cancer in mid-February 2021. Please show me. Okay, World out first. What else you got? What else we got for Cancers in mid-February? Show me. And probably, hopefully, at least one more. Whoa. There it goes. Felt that approaching. All right, so World was the first one, then Three of Pentacles and the Empress. World, secondary major for Capricorn. You could be dealing with a Capricorn. Three of Pentacles. And the Empress, secondary major for Libra as well as Taurus. You could be dealing with either of those signs or not at all. I moved that out the way a little bit. There we go. Cancer. For some of you, this is like you getting wise of a not so good situation, or a situation where maybe things have run its course. In some of your cases, Three of Pentacles in the center there. If you've been with me for a while, I don't say this lightly. Some of you, this is the third party situation and you're seeing yourself out of it, or you're being left behind to deal with the ramifications of a third party that you've initiated in your life. Caveat with that, when you work with me and talk with me about third-party situations, unless it is in a personal reading, in these generals, it definitely doesn't always have to be pointing to a romantic situation. It could be third-party with friends, third-party with family, could be third-party without any other entity in terms of like a human being. It could be third-party is school, third-party is work. You get what I mean? But there's something that is occupying a connection that may have, I mean, and the other thing about third-party situation is that it could have been started between three people, because especially with the Three of Pentacles coming out, that can talk about contracts, that can talk about willful connection that we have with multiple people in order to get a job done, in order to accomplish a certain project or a certain goal, or just to, share good times with, much like our good friends, the Golden Girls here. So, but I feel you are making, like, you're parting ways with it, or it's, like I said before, it's kind of run its course naturally, you know what I mean? So I feel like for many of you Cancers, with the World card here, it's the end of a particular chapter. Whether or not this is a chapter that you're happy to see go out of your life, or you're bittersweet about it, or you're melancholy about it, or whatever, there's just like this realization. I'm getting like very, very, like a strong awareness is here with this World card. Like maybe some of you at a previous point were in denial about what you were dealing with, whether it be the third party itself, whether it be how you were treated in this, connection between three people. Again, it doesn't have to be romantic. For some of you, this is like work, and you're realizing maybe you were giving more than other people in a work situation or family situation. Maybe you realize that you were taken for granted. Maybe you realize simply your skills are no longer necessary and it's going to be an amicable ending. You get what I mean? So I don't want it to be like this is the worst thing ever for you, or for all of you that this is the worst thing ever, or for all of you that this is something to do with romance. It doesn't have to be that. But like I said here, the World card is feeling like being absolutely sure that this is what needs to happen. This has to wrap up. This is no longer a part of my life story. You know, maybe it's on pause, maybe it's on hiatus, but it is a particular pivot point or poignant ending that you're experiencing, and you've learned something here, or someone else has. You know, again, this is a general, so it can go vice versa. It can go in, you know, you could be watching a friend go through this. You know, it only take what resonates and all that good stuff. Okay. But there's a lesson to be learned here. So if you're not wise to the lesson, I would encourage you to try and figure it out. You know, ask for assistance from your guides, ask for assistance from the universe itself. You know, dig deep if you need to. But for those where you got it, you got it. Like, you really understand this. Like, it's almost as if the retrospect happens immediately. Like, as soon as this project is finished, as soon as this third-party situation wraps up, as soon as these people, you and these people have whatever conversation, or for some of you, it is like actual termination of a contract, possibly before the actual completion of the contract. Like, I'm getting nullified. Nullified is the word I'm getting here. Nullified. So for some of you, it's just like, as soon as the ink is dried on the paper, you kind of, on a high level, with that world card there, some type of high level awareness, you realize why this happened or what lesson you were meant to learn out of it. Some of you, you're still working through it, and you will, but I feel, interesting. With this Empress on the other side, you don't have to be an Empress, aka a female, to resonate with this message, but I do get like this stepping into like this. For some of you, okay, for some of you, you're going to be kicking yourselves like, oh, I should have listened to my intuition. I should have listened to my gut feeling about this. Like, you're having a little bit of regrets, okay? Not all of you, but some of you are just like, oh, I shouldn't have never invested with this person or this team of people in the first place. And that's the other thing. You could have hired someone, like a contractor or something, and it's not going the way you wanted. It's not a project. The quotes are not right, and you're overpaying, or, you know, the project is stalled and all this other kind of stuff, and you have to kind of back out before you had originally intended, right? And so for some of you, you're just feeling like, oh, I never should have started with that person, that company, this job to begin with. I should have, you know, been more mindful, or I should have waited, or I should have investigated things further, or I shouldn't have gotten my feelings involved, whatever. There's a lot of shoulda, woulda, coulda coming out of this. And I think that's, you know, par for the course as humans. A lot of us will, you know, not dwell, but we certainly will be critical of ourselves in a retrospective way. I would try not to, you know, like I said, dwell there. Don't dwell there. Don't spend too much time there, Cancer. But it feels like, even though it sucks to have gone through this and you would have rather spent your time, energy, effort, and even in some cases your money differently, since there's pentacles there, as much, and the Empress is also kind of relative to that earth energy, that very tangible energy that the earth quality represents. I feel like some of you are feeling like, well, even though that sucked, I'm better off having been through it. Take that with a grain of salt. I'm not saying like you've gone through something really egregious and horrible and you're happy to have done it. It's like, no, you still would have rather have skipped it if you could have, but since you kind of had to, or you ended up going through whatever crap this was, you end up feeling much wiser or on a more stable ground after. Maybe not immediately after. Like, the retrospect is more the immediately. Like, as soon as it's done, you're thinking back on what you should have done, what you could have done, all that stuff. In time, as that analysis or review of the situation kind of diminishes, I think you're going to recognize, Cancer, that you're on firmer ground and you feel much more stable than you ever did while this was active in your life. For some of you, this is still active, so it's a little bit more predictive. For others of you, you've gone through this, you recognize it as a chapter closing in your life, and you're kind of trying to saddle up to and get very comfortable in the Empress energy. Now, just to kind of figure out how these are related here. The Three of Pentacles again, as we saw on the artwork there, it is like about teamwork. We all work together to try to contribute to one single outcome, right? The Empress can be a team player, but is traditionally known to be a solo person, like a solo, self-sufficient person. So some of you, this is, like I said, the end of a contract, the end of a business relationship, the end of a love relationship, something like that. And so you're going to eventually get very comfortable with doing things for yourself, by yourself, when you're the responsible party. It all falls on your shoulders. Now that might sound overwhelming for some of you, and it very well could play out to be overwhelming, but there is sort of like this can-do attitude and unfazed, unshakable quality that sometimes comes across with the Empress, and I feel that you have that. And if it's not you, it might be someone around you who would champion you, who would support you in these ways. That I would hope that most of you are the Empress in your own life, but you might come across a friend, a colleague, a new contact, whatever, who becomes this supportive person towards you. But honestly, it feels like this is what Cancer is moving towards, this self-sufficient, stable, very almost regal looking character, after being in possibly not so ideal circumstances, right? I don't think I need to clarify anything. I mean, I guess we could clarify the world and see what the lesson is, but that's a more specific question. So I don't want to clarify the world because I think for those where it resonates, you know what your lesson is, or you know that there's a lesson in this somewhere. You just haven't found it out yet. You know what I mean? So I don't think I need to clarify anything, but we will get further information here. So what is some more information we could give Cancer regarding the situation? What are the additional messages here for Cancer? Please show me. All right. You almost fell to the ground. Almost. And it came like that, so we're going to wait on that. So 4 swords side position from now. Additional messages for Cancer. Please show me. All right. And let's see, at least one more maybe. Yeah, that's fine, they say. Cool. So 4 swords side, we might take it out of that position. King of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. Okay. Some of you may have had to choose between 2 people, hence third-party situation. And again, it doesn't have to be romantic choosing. It could be choosing between friends, choosing between family members, colleagues, things like that. But let's before we get into that, let's see about this. Is this staying in the side position? Cool. It feels good like this. Okay. So 4 swords in the upright. If it's not you, then someone else has to choose or had to choose. And they might not have done anything. So for those where the choice has been made, congratulations, you or the other person was a little bit more proactive. As I put this card in the upright, it feels like somebody is delaying it even further. And they're not really interested in participating in the choice point. The choice point is very interesting. You've got a King of Pentacles and a Page of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Yeah, and so the choice point is between these 2 characters. One is super mature, right? King of Pentacles. Allegedly, by the way, stereotypically, traditionally in tarot, thank you, the King of Pentacles is known to be a mature character within the court cards. And then you've got the Page of Pentacles, a younger earth sign. They don't have to be an earth sign, but a younger earth quality. Each of them has their own virtues, their own benefits. Like each person or each situation, if it's not people, it's situations, have their pros and their cons. And I feel back here, someone just refuses or is not yet prepared to make a choice, would rather, sit this one out on the sideline, you know what I mean? So if this is choosing between friends or family members, there might be a disagreement here between King of Pentacles and Page of Pentacles. It could just be about an offer, whatever it is, but there's less this timeout. I don't want to participate. I don't have an opinion, or I can't make a decision, because 4 swords is about rest. Sort of like I was saying up here about reflection and really pulling away from sort of a conscious space and almost getting into a subconscious space. But that's like a little bit, that's not for everybody. Not all of you are trying to do that with the situation, because it simply doesn't require you to dive deep into your subconscious. Others of you it does, and that's sort of the work that you or someone else is undertaking. So if you're waiting, let's say it this way, if you were waiting or anticipating that someone else was going to make a decision, you've decided not to wait for them any longer. And I feel either as the King of Pentacles or the Page of Pentacles, you've decided to make a solid move, a smart investment elsewhere, whether that be actual money, because it's Pentacles, time, energy, effort, again, more things that we value, or just simply, how you socialize. If this was a dating scenario and, well, they're like dating and, they're like, and so if this was a dating scenario and you were the third party, the third wheel out of a duo of people, you're kind of seeing yourself out. For some of you, you might have gone into a third party situation very aware of it, or you became aware of it. And regardless, you've decided to now retract and get away from that. Four of Swords, right? So if you met a person and they were married, or they're poly, or they're, ethically non-monogamous, or they didn't tell you anything, and then all of, weeks or months down the line, you find out they are involved with another person. At some point, someone decides, you know what? Never mind. This is not worth the hassle, or it's something like that. It's not worth my time. It's taking too much from me. And both the Page of Pentacles the King of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles have an interest in giving to situations, cultivating situations that give something back, that have or that have a certain value to them, or that support them and sustain them in some type of way. So I hope that I don't know where you are, Cancer. Some of you are this person, or this person. Pick who you are. Oh, I didn't really explain that. King of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. So this King of Pentacles is a little bit more of a master, a little bit more established, a little bit more accomplished in their life. They could be older, they don't have to be, but I feel like this person is much more able to provide for themselves. They're much more logical, they're much more practical and methodical with what they do. They might, quote unquote, be boring, but I don't know that matters to you or is even important, but there is sort of like this predictability about this person. Like in conversation, you might be able to really, like, as soon as you ask them a question, you already know what their response is going to be. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I think this person is very nurturing, very caring. They interestingly have a sense of humor. I don't know, like there's something about the mustache on his face that's like making me think like this guy's like a little jokester or something. It's just random. But so this person has a good sense of humor. They don't take themselves too seriously, even though they're a very serious person. What do I mean? They don't take themselves seriously, but they are a very serious person. So this person might have sort of like a business side and then like a playful side. And when they're talking shop, they're doing their business thing, it's very serious. And then when they're at home, they're with their friends, they're very colorful, they're very animated, they're very charismatic. Do you get what I mean? So there's like a delineation or a compartmentalizing of their personality, so to speak. Like when it comes to being professional, they are professional to a T. You get it? The Page of Pentacles is trying, well, in theory, according to the ascension of the court cards, the Page of Pentacles wants to one day be the King of Pentacles, in theory. But as this person shows up, I think they're a lot more lively than the King of Pentacles. And they're a lot more jovial, they're a lot more imaginative or creative. How they show up in your life, Cancer, this person might have considerably less experience, less wisdom than the King of Pentacles, but they make up for it with like enthusiasm. This person is incredibly enthusiastic about things. They see all the possibilities that are available to them. And the King of Pentacles does too, but because this person has been at it for a little bit longer, or they already have something that they can sort of account for, and it's part of their foundation, they don't take as many risks. This person over here is much more willing to take risks, even though as a Page of Pentacles, they're not as risky as, say, the Page of Wands or the Page of Swords. They're still, comparatively to the King of Pentacles, much more like fast moving. They're much more quick thinking, things like that. For some reason, I get this idea that this person smells great. They have like a wonderful perfume or cologne that they wear, or they just naturally have like good pheromones or something. If you're interested in what their pheromones sound like, I feel like the attraction to this person, obviously with a little bit of a romantic overtone here, is like you would much rather go to bed with this person than that person. Or when you do go to bed with both of them, this one is much more your style than this one, if that makes sense. Or there's something more attractive about them. Like, again, like this, the way they smell might be incredibly attractive to you. All right, so let's get you some advice, and then we are done. So what is the advice in this situation for Cancer? I mean, I think for many of you, this is like over. Like, this is more retrospective than anything else. For many of you, for others, it's not. But let's see. So let's get some advice in this situation for Cancer. And if it didn't resonate at all, but you're still here, I appreciate you. But don't worry, this just isn't your story, and maybe we'll have something for you next time around, yeah? Advice for Cancer in this current situation, please show me. Ace of Cups, okay. Now, very interestingly, very quickly, because the world talks of cycles, for a few of you, this might come back around again. So you might have a person, or you might be the person who walks away but comes back, or you might have parted ways with one person or both people or 15 people. I don't know your life, right? But there is, as soon as this fell out, I got like this apology coming through. So you might be going to apologize to people, or someone might be going to apologize to you, and it's a little bit of like a merry-go-round feeling is what this is, or circling back around. You know what I mean? What you do with that, or how you receive that, and how you approach it, I don't know. But others of you, this I think is like the opportunity, since the world, again, is like a closing of a chapter. This would be an opportunity for you to really present? Sort of like present or gift yourself a little bit of forgiveness, a little bit of a fresh start, a little bit of compassion. Like, I don't sense much bitter feeling here. I did sense a little bit of insecurity that we were talking about a little bit before with the Empress, whereas there's this doubt of your intuition. There's a doubt of your choices. Here's this, cut yourself a break. Cut yourself some slack. Don't dwell on that too long, that type of energy. So I think this Ace of Cups is like this renewal. It's like, well, again, what I went through totally sucked. It wasn't ideal. It wasn't optimal, but I didn't, it's sort of like that cliched phrase, but, or that cliched idea, but did you die? Were you severely maimed or something like that? Barring some huge tragedy which maybe some of you have gone through, you might be, again, better off in the long run because of what you've learned about yourself, learned about other people, learned about, your own sensibilities and your boundaries and stuff like that. So I think this is like a little bit of a reward. And in fact, you might find benefit to actually go out and reward yourself, Cancer. So treat yourself to something nice. Don't beat yourself up too badly if you feel like you've, been played for a fool, or you wasted your time or something like that, okay? Cancer, that's your reading for mid-February. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. Do all that fun stuff. It keeps me percolating and circulating around here on YouTube. It shows your support. And yeah, Cancer, I'll be back very soon to do your March messages. Until then, I thank you so much for watching. Take care.